Waiting for it to be read.
Broadcast is live.
Is it?
It's live. You're on. Colin?
It's scheduled. Hello, Richard.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Good. So we have, we're going to, we have a lot of content in short time.
Let's
Uh,
go. What do you
I
got?
think,
What do you
well,
got? What do you got?
I think it's what you have. I think there's a couple stories that you've kind of led this week. And, first is Clark Haggins. I want to just say, rest in peace. I don't know what happened. It seems like you broke that story. And I don't know what happened to you.
Not fully. No. Clark Haggins had been living in Colorado.
Yeah.
He'd been staying out there, and sort of, I don't know if in a good way or bad way, had just sort of kind of been distant from a lot of people. Not on, and again, not in a bad way, but hadn't really been communicating with a lot of people all that regularly.
Yeah.
And passed away at 46 years old. So
Crazy with young kids at home. Very sad. Great guy. He was a great guy. He is a great guy, great player, great teammate from everything I've heard. So I wanted to just tip my hat to Clark and to his family and wish them all the very best.
Yeah, really good player and contributor, and actually had some of his best games in the biggest games. Had a really big Super Bowl game against Seattle. So sad situation.
So just a gentle reminder to everybody, though, we all end up in the same place, and the most valuable commodity that you all have and we all have is our time. And so spend it wisely. That's your biggest commodity. Spend it wisely, prudently, no regrets.
Yeah, okay? I agree with that.
And so, because we all end up the same way, no matter what, no matter whether you're me, you, Clark Haggins, the people that are in the submersible that can't get out, that are billionaires, that it still ends the same for everybody. So that sounds like a little maudlin. I'm not trying to be that, but there is a reality to that.
Yeah.
Right. And then the next thing, is this. God, I don't know how you feel about this guy, but this knucklehead Huggins.
There's just no excuse for. Okay, I'll tell you how I feel with it. And this is transcendent of just him. If you do things that are self-destructive, or you do things of your own accord, a lot of times I don't really pay much attention. I don't, especially if you're an adult, right? But once it crosses the line that potentially innocent people get harmed, then a lot of times I'm kind of forced to pay attention, or I think the world is forced to pay attention. And to become involved in behavior that right around 71,000 people, that's totally ridiculous at almost 70 years old, I think it's just, there's no way to excuse it away. And no amount of good can excuse that away.
I don't think there is an amount of good, because all you saw was the real guy come out. That's what you saw, right? And so for how long was it inside? How long was it not? I don't know, but I think it shows such arrogance.
It shows an aloof nature and a thought that you're above the law and above social norms and above other people's safety, that you're almost operating on a different plane than the rest of the world.
Yeah, and to be clear, this isn't about alcoholism. It's not about that.
It's about entitlement.
It's alcoholism is a disease. We can talk about that. We can help that. We can guide that. We can, addiction and alcohol. They're different than what we're talking about. I don't even want to disclose in his words the things that he said were just. How do you even care what anything happens to this guy? Seriously, it was horrible. The horrible things he said and did. But I wanted to make sure we addressed that.
Yeah, I just feel like there's what gets me, the entitlement of the action, right?
Yeah, 100%.
And then more so, not even just the excuses, but I saw far more on social media than I ever envisioned. Well, who hasn't done that? What do you mean? Is your house clean or whatever? Well, I'll tell you what I have never done is had a 0.21 blood alcohol level, or gotten 2 DUIs, or continue to have a pattern of behavior after he's had 50 years to figure out how to responsibly drink and hasn't been able to do it.
Yeah. Well, and again, you have to really, you have to want to do that, because if you don't, no matter what, you can't make him, his sister can't make him, his mother can't make him, his wife can't make him. He has to want that. And so I'll leave it at that. I'm going to leave it right there because I want to jump real quick to Ray Lewis's son.
Yeah.
And I want to tip my hat to Ray also because what he's going through, he lost his young son to an accidental overdose. And that saddens me to see that, such young lives that have been taken. There's a lot, I'm sure, for Ray's son, Ray the Third, probably a lot to live up to, right? And that's part of that's part of mental health and mental health awareness, which was last month, and something that's really big. And I saw the New York Post, right, which I read. I shouldn't say religiously because that's the wrong word, but I do read it daily. And yesterday's front page had a social media thing, and it talked about how we're a generation that is so hooked on social media. It makes us think we're not good enough, we're not pretty enough, no matter who we are, whatever we do isn't enough. It's a never enough feeling. And somehow I think this all ties in, right? And because that's the generation, and mental health awareness really, and I apologize for taking it here.
No.
But it's really an important topic. And because you look at social media, I mean, everybody's perfect. But are they really? They're not. That's not a representative sample of what reality is.
Social media has forced an atmosphere where people continually climb and strive and never feel like they ever arrive anywhere.
That's 100%. It's never enough, and never good enough, never enough, never anything. I mean, never pretty enough, never rich enough, never anything. And so I think, how do you ever succeed? Where is that point where you say, I'm satisfied? You're not. And so, when you look at that and you look at, I don't know the dynamics behind Ray the Third, but I know that this is a really big issue, and I'm very aware of it. And if one of our words causes somebody to look a little deeper, then I feel like we did what we're supposed to do.
Yeah, it's just but these are issues. These are real issues in life. It's not, and they transcend sports, and they're all over the place. So I think it's well that you took time to talk about this today.
Well, that's all I wanted to talk about, really, and I wanted to acknowledge the fact that you're the guy that wrote both of those stories. So
yeah.
So thank you for that.
Certainly.
Is there anything else you'd like to talk about in this?
No, but you encapsulated it, and I'll leave it with this: the only true commodity and value in life is time. Like there's nothing else after that. If you don't have that, you don't have anything.
You don't have anything, and you just, because you never want to look back and say would have, could have, or should have.
Right.
All
right, Richard.
So thank you.
Week.
You're wonderful. I appreciate you, and thank you so much for allowing us into this show with you.
I'm allowed to say I love you because I do.
And I love you too.